Yes, I've been waiting for someone to ask this question. Yes, let's get into it. Okay, I don't know if 3 minutes is long enough to cover it all, but I'm gonna try. So basically, the heterosexual double bind is a product of the way that we socialize the different genders. For women, emotional intimacy and emotional connection is acceptable. There's no risk there at all. Being emotional is a hallmark trait of being a woman, even though, that's a human trait, but whatever. Sex, on the other hand, is a risk for a woman. Women are more harshly judged for having multiple partners than men are. Men, on the other hand, gain more peer acceptance. They've done studies, I'll show you, gain more peer acceptance the more partners that they have. They're cooler or whatever. But we socially condition men from such a young age to stop your crying and be tough and be a man. So they become emotionally repressive. So being emotional intimacy for a man is a risk. So for women, sex is a risk, emotional intimacy, not a risk. For men, sex is not a risk, emotional intimacy is a risk. Most women need emotional connection in order to feel safe enough and in order to feel comfortable enough to have sex. A lot of men need sex in order to feel emotional intimacy. So in this heterosexual double bind, what ends up happening is the wife or the girlfriend has emotional needs that need to be taken care of from her partner, and if he's been socially conditioned to be emotionally repressive, he eventually grows up to be detached from himself emotionally, especially things like vulnerability and fear and whatnot. So he literally cannot understand what his wife or girlfriend is talking about. What emotional needs, you're just nagging me, I don't understand. We read through a bunch of interviews in the class of married couples that were having problems, and they all rang with the same fucking tone of the husbands feeling rejected and feeling like the relationship would be better if they had more sex, because that's how they can be intimate with their wife and that's how they can share love. Whereas the women, because their emotional needs aren't being met, don't feel comfortable having sex and don't even have the desire to have sex with their husbands, because they need that emotional connection in order to feel comfortable, in order to feel sexual connection with their husband. That's that toxic masculinity that we indoctrinate into men, that they gotta be tough. And what ends up happening is they can't connect with their wives or their girlfriends. It's toxic. Everybody loses. It's lose-lose.